Most of the comments I get are wonderful, but I do filter some that are excessively negative or completely irrelevant. If you ever feel like a noob to crypto, don't worry about it. Even the newest among you are probably 10 years ahead of the general population in understanding. For example, I got one comment from a very angry person who told me I should talk about fashion or something real, instead of talking gibberish about something nobody has ever heard of. Such as, quote, Crispo currently. End quote. Sadly, I don't think the person was even trolling. Konnichiwa. I'm Sakura Nakamoto, and you're watching Nakamoto Rised. Cryptocurrency news and information. There's been a considerable amount of internet chatter about the fork of Litecoin, called Litecoin Cash. When considering any crypto investment, or involvement such as in a fork, I do two things. Number 1. I read the white paper. In order to understand the purpose and the goals of the development team. Number 2. I try to learn about the development team, and the promoters, generally the key players. With Litecoin Cash, I skipped both of those steps. With good reason though. There is no white paper, and the development team have chosen to remain anonymous. Despite that rocky start, I trudged on into my research. My general impression is that Litecoin Cash started as a joke by sincere Litecoin fans. I think it's a jab at Bitcoin Cash. The name alone would seem so. There's more though. You see, Litecoin has no transaction problems and is in great shape. Bitcoin Cash, at least, had some sincerity in its development. 1. Being to preserve the original form of Bitcoin for whatever reason, 2. To make a version of Bitcoin that's more efficient, and 3. To make early adopters and supporters a lot of gains by being invested in it. A good argument against a crypto forking to preserve some original form, is that evolution is important to survival, and cryptos that cannot adapt are not likely to survive. Litecoin is a survivor, and the Litecoin Foundation has no problem with staying on the cutting edge of technology to remain viable, relevant, and most useful. I'm saying that Litecoin Cash is ridiculous. I think the developers know it's ridiculous, and I think the purpose is more about illustrating how useless Bitcoin Cash is. Honestly, everything Bitcoin Cash claims as goals, Litecoin does better. So, if Bitcoin Cash can't compete with Litecoin in the real world of merchant transactions, and payments in general, the redundant Litecoin Cash will be, in a word, useless. Having said all of that, if you want to claim 10 Litecoin Cash for every Litecoin you hold, at the time of the scheduled fork, which is to be on February 19th, you must prove your ownership of Litecoin by showing that you have private keys. Do not give anybody direct access to your private keys to accept any fork coins, folks. Don't do it. If you are determined to accept Litecoin Cash, the safe way to do it is to transfer your coins into a temporary wallet, before the fork occurs, then transfer them out of that temporary wallet into secure storage after the fork. Only allow the Litecoin Cash team access to the empty temporary wallet. That way nobody has the means to steal your Litecoins, and yet they have the proof they require that you held Litecoins at the time of the fork. As the creator of Litecoin, Charlie Lee is biased. Of course. Some of you may not care what he thinks about it anyway. And that's okay. But for what it's worth, Mr. Lee has been blunt concerning any coin using the Litecoin name, plus whatever. He considers them scams, in the sense that they're not associated with the Litecoin Foundation, or Litecoin in any way, except in name. Apparently, he feels these coins, being so named, are attempts to fool people into thinking that they have some potential related to Litecoin, when they have no real connection. If you've been watching this channel for a minute, you've noticed that I promote Litecoin. I believe in the project very strongly. I think it's the premier coin for payments, and a better Bitcoin for everyday purchases. Litecoin isn't an adversary to Bitcoin, but a companion, and is still extremely undervalued. So, when I see projects diverting power away from the real deal, I'm not a fan. Another reason I'm not a fan is that new investors may be suckered into investing in something, simply because of name recognition, and get burned in the end. For that reason, I'm sorry, but Litecoin Cash falls into my classification of a noob coin.
Newbie.
Thank you for spending time with me. Please poke the like button and be sure you've subscribed. Ring the bell to be notified when I post new videos. You can also follow me at Nakamoto Rised on Facebook and Twitter. Until I see you again, I'll keep you in mind, in my electric dreams.